Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Realm of Ori. In this video, we will continue with Volume 18, Chapter 3, Reminiscences of the Clowns, Part 7. If you haven't watched the previous video or chapter, you can find the link in the description below. Before we begin, this video contains light novel spoilers. If you do not want to be spoiled, do not watch it. And, if you will continue, an additional disclaimer notice. So without further ado, let's get to the video. A huge castle in heaven. In the audience hall, there was a line of chalk pillars. The atmosphere in the hall was divine. The hall was full of angels with white wings. They didn't have bodies yet, but they were waiting for the right time to come to earth. In the audience hall, a solemn mood was produced by their lack of will, complete immobility, and sculpture-like unsteadiness. People who stood out from the rest sat in a circle on chairs in the front row. They were the other reborn individuals, including Kagali. They were much stronger and had a much bigger presence than they did before. They were called because Michael was about to wake up. Michael was still asleep when Kagali woke up with the seraphim in her body. But he hadn't shown up yet, and it looked like he was running late. When Kagali had some extra time, she looked at the angels. She was told that there was no limit to how many angels could be called at the same time, but that there was a limit to how much energy could be called. Usually, it would be 1,000,000 soldiers, but this time only 7 seraphim were called, so the number was not very big. On the other hand, the quality was good. There were no low-level angels in the group. All of the angels were at least intermediate level. Angels who hadn't taken human form couldn't exhibit their full power. Even the power angel's fighting abilities were above a level. The most it could do was work for 7 days, but that was enough to burn the earth. But it would be no problem for the demon lords. Not good enough. With this little, it will be hard to get rid of any of the forces. The quiet hall echoed with Kagali's murmuring. Even though she didn't expect to hear back, she did. Well, while everyone else had capable subordinates, I didn't. I don't think I can beat one of the 8 stars, Octogram, to be honest. I didn't think I'd ever agree with you. Dino, by the way. I had no idea that you worked for Feldway-sama. Do you? I can't say that to you. I am a watcher. The whole idea is to stay out of sight. And while I'm here, let me tell you where you went wrong. I am not Feldway's subordinate. I was once an associate. Dino was working as a watcher for the Octogram after sneaking into the group. His goal was to keep an eye on the Earth. The 3 fallen angels, Dino, Pico, and Gracia, were sent on a mission to find out more about the human world. By Veldinava's order, they had to keep an eye on the human race so that it wouldn't be wiped out. Guy and the other demon lords had the responsibility of punishing the human race when it grew out of control. And the chosen hero was there as a way to stop demon lords from going too far. Dino's job was to find out if the cause and effect link between demon lords and heroes was working right. Dino attracted attention because of his prominent role as a demon lord, but Pico and Gracia carried out their investigation covertly. Dino's secret job was also to make a cover story that made it easier for those 2 to move around. But since Veldinava never came back, there was no one to report to. So, since Dino was a demon lord, he had been living a free life. Dino wasn't trying to hide that fact, since he was talking about it in the open. Kagali wondered why he was even here. He owes Feldway a lot of money, so when he asks, he can't say no. But he can't go back to Demon Lord Rimuru, so he has decided to follow Michael-sama. Well, that's it, I guess. So, what kind of person was Demon Lord Rimuru? I hate him for killing Clayman, and if I get the chance, I'd like to get even with him. It wasn't true. In reality, she didn't dislike Demon Lord Rimuru at all. There was no doubt that they knew each other from the past. But she had made a deal with Yuki, and even if they were to turn against each other again, she was still an interesting person to be around. Clayman's death was caused by Lieutenant Kondu, who was in control of him, and Michael, who was in control of even Kondu. Kagali knew this without getting upset, but she wasn't stupid enough to say it. Dino gave Kagali a simple answer to her question. Even his subordinates are hard to deal with. And especially that Zigen guy. Dino was tasked with neutralizing the labyrinth forces in the previous mission. His mission was to either take Ramirez hostage or kill her. Dino says he was almost successful, but the truth is that he didn't make it. He says that this is because a powerful Majin named Zigen stopped him. Is he this strong? Not only is he strong, it was a level that was completely out of control. He is said to be the strongest of the Elite 10 in the dungeon, which means he is at least stronger than me. He had been in a long series of battles and was tired. He also thought his opponent wasn't as strong as he was. Zigen, on the other hand, didn't even take Dino seriously and managed to play him lightly. Dino didn't want to be a sore loser, but he didn't want to admit it. That is a weak thing to say. You can easily beat him. Don't worry, I'll take care of him. It must be fun to be so stupid. Dino thought, but he did not say what he was thinking. It made no sense to say anything. Nothing has changed about Vega. In this way, even if he has the ability, we might not be able to effectively utilize him. Kagali let out a sigh of frustration. Even if you are sure of your own strength, it doesn't help if you don't have the most important sense in battle. It was being able to figure out how much stronger you were than your opponent. Facing an opponent you can't beat will only cause you to lose strength for no reason. Pico and Gracia seemed to know what was going on and scowled at each other. They didn't say anything, probably because they didn't know Vega well and thought it was pointless to try to help him. It seemed like that was the end of the talk. Well, be careful if you see an insectar in the labyrinth. Zigen is the beetle type, but Apido, the bee type, is also dangerous. Dino made a casual remark that was about to end the conversation. Zelenus took a bite out of it. The beetle type and bee type? Tell me more. Dino felt pressure from the powerful spirit. And, without meaning to, he told as much as he knew, which wasn't much. Oh, well, I've heard that Rimuru was guarded by them before he rose to the rank of Demon Lord. He didn't say anything as he listened. Dino's story was done, and there was an awkward silence in the room. Give me an answer of some kind. Dino thought Zelenus was a scary guy. He didn't want to talk to Zelenus, so he changed the subject and tried to hide the truth. Well, that's all. Those attempting to defend have a significant advantage in Ramirez's labyrinth. There are a lot of strong players like Zigen in there, so you should know that it will be hard to beat them. Kagali was thinking about a lot of things. Dino's words were important, but for now, the most important thing was for her to find out about the changes she had made. Kagali felt a huge surge of power as she looked for information and checked on how she had changed. The Seraphim are the highest-ranking angels. They are said to be like the demon lords who have woken up. When Kagali absorbed the power of the Seraphim and turned into a Jotun, she became so strong that her demon lord self seemed silly. Aside from her unique skill schemer, she discovered she had a new skill built into her soul. Ultimate Enchantment, Domination King Melchizedek, since it was separated from Michael's control ability, had a terrifying performance that might instantly analyze any ability and put it under control. However, because Kagali was also under the control of the power, she was unable to turn on Michael. It is terrifying. I can't even picture a world where people with that much power fight each other. In actuality, Dino was on the same level as the current Kagali, who had advanced to the rank of Jotun. Dino, that's pathetic. Since he was a demon lord, he's been like that, but I've never seen Dino fight himself. That's why he's not strong. Kagali found it hard to hold back the laughter that was rising up inside her. She couldn't ever let her guard down. But still, even though Dino's opponent had the upper hand, she still thought she could win. After all, Kagali was stronger than even an awakened demon lord. Leon, just wait, now you have to cry. You're next. Kagali kept thinking, but she tried to hide a small feeling of pleasure. This kind of extreme thinking was a result of being controlled by a skill, but Kagali didn't notice it. Vega doesn't have any thoughts. He only waits for instructions. He now has more power. Since he has died so many times, he has looked into the deepest parts of this world. He ate Gladium and took the blue dragon spear, which was a mythical grade and his favorite weapon. He even ate a seraphim and took its power for himself. At that moment, he could feel the fragments of skills he had learned coming together and getting stronger. All of his losses had made him stronger. A manifestation of explosive power. Vega is like that. Yuki brought Vega back to life, and by combining, fusing, and enhancing different skills, Vega had become the best fighting creature ever. And finally, the unique skill, Evil Eater, had turned into the ultimate skill, Evil Dragon King Azi Dahaka. Its destructive power was so great that it could trump already existing skills. It was bad for the world that Vega got this skill, since he didn't know how to control power. No, it's not like that. Maybe it's because he tried to control his power even though he didn't think he could learn such a skill. No matter what, Vega waits. He waits to be told what to do. He can only kill and eat people who stand in his way.